Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this session wherein we shall discuss on the Central and South America. The five main topics which we are going to cover today are physical geography, landforms and aerial features, mountains, rivers, deserts and waterfalls, climate, and last but not the least, we shall see some of the most important attractions. Firstly, we shall look into the physical geography of South America and Central America. Physical geography. Although Central America encompasses a relatively small area, the topography and physical environment of Central America is interesting to study because of its diversity. The geography of Central America is unique due to its interesting combination of rugged mountains, heavy vegetation, and the influence of two major oceans. The dominant feature of the northern part of Central America is the Sierra Madre range spreading east from Mexico between the narrow Pacific coastal plain and the limestone lowland of the Yucatan Peninsula. Parallel hill ranges sweep across Honduras and extend south past the Caribbean Mosquito Coast to Lakes Managua and Nicaragua. A highly active volcanic belt runs along the Pacific coast from Mexico to Costa Rica. The topography of the area greatly varies from volcanic mountains, the highlands, to the rainforest in the lowlands. Savannas and swamps appear at irregular intervals. The lowlands also have drier forest. Farmers continue to practice slash and burn agriculture, causing incredible fires that create heavy smoky skies. In fact, NASA has been trying for decades to take accurate topographical satellite images of the area and has faced much difficulty due to the consistent cloud and smoke cover. The forces of nature coupled with human action such as slash and burn farming practices and deforestation interact with such incredible interplay in this region like no other places on earth. South America, the fourth largest continent, extends from the Gulf of Darien in the northwest to the archipelago of Tierra del Fuego in the south. It can be divided into three physical regions: mountains and highlands, river basins, and coastal plains. Mountains and coastal plains generally run in the north-south direction, while highlands and river basins generally run in an east-west direction. South America's extreme geographic variation contributes to the continent's large number of biomes. A biome is a community of plants and animals that spreads over an area with a relatively uniform climate. One of the continent's river basins, the Amazon, is defined by dense tropical rainforest, while the other is made up of vast grasslands. With an unparalleled number of plant and animal species, South America's rich biodiversity is unique among the world's continents. Regarding landforms, here we locate and identify the major Central America volcanoes, as Ithamos is geologically active with volcanic eruptions and subsequent earthquakes occurring on a somewhat frequent basis. In fact, in modern times, these landforms have devastated many cities and killed hundreds of people in Central America. Central America has many volcanic mountain ranges. The longest are the Sierra Madre de Chiapas in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Honduras. To the nature enthusiast, South America is a top-tier destination. This huge continent boasts dramatic geography, including such superlative landscapes such as the giant volcanoes of the Andes and the flooded rainforest of the Amazon and Orinoco basins. Amazon Basin. The Amazon Basin is covered by the largest tropical rainforest in the world, and running through its heart is the Amazon River, and it has more than 1,000 tributaries. 7 of them are more than 1,000 miles in length. Measurable rain falls on an average of 200 days a year. Rising high in the Andes, the river's network irrigates almost half of the continent, and in terms of volume of water discharged into an ocean, it is the largest in the world. Andes Mountains. This toothy-edged mountain system, some 4,500 miles in length, extends from the southern tip of South America all the way to Panama. It is the source of major rivers on the continent, and its many ranges include dozens of peaks that reach over 20,000 feet, the highest point being Aconcagua in Argentina. It is also home to some of the planet's largest volcanoes, and in the far south, along the coast of Chile, large glaciers and ice sheets are common. Atacama Desert. Sparsely populated and positioned high into the Andes of Chile, this somewhat small desert is a cold place and one of the few deserts on earth that does not receive any rain. It's approximately 100 miles wide and 625 miles long. The landscape is totally barren and covered with lava flow remnants and saline deposits. Mountains and highlands. South America's primary mountain system, the Andes, is also the world's longest. The range covers about 8,850 kilometers, situated on the far western edge of the continent. The Andes stretch from the southern tip to the northernmost coast of South America. There are hundreds of peaks more than 4,500 meters tall, many of which are volcanic. The highest peak in the Andes, Aconcagua, stands at 6,962 meters and straddles the Argentina-Chile border. Aconcagua is the tallest mountain outside Asia. High plateaus are also a feature of the Andes. The Altiplano of Peru and Bolivia, for example, has an elevation of about 3,700 meters. The Patagonia region of Argentina and Chile consists of lower elevation plateaus and rugged glaciers. Outside the Andes, South America has two principal highland areas, the Brazilian Highlands and the Guyana Highlands. Located south of the Amazon River in Brazil, the Brazilian Highlands are made up of low mountains and plateaus that rise to an average elevation of 1,006 meters. The Guyana Highlands are located between the Amazon and Orinoco rivers. The heavily forested plateau of the Guyana Highlands covers southern Venezuela, French Guyana, Guyana, northern Brazil, and a portion of southeastern Colombia. River basins. South America has three important river basins, the Amazon, Orinoco, and Paraguay-Parana. The Amazon River Basin has an area of almost 7 million square kilometers, making it the largest watershed in the world. The basin, which covers most of northern South America, is fed by tributaries from the glaciers of the Andes. Amazon River is the life force of the equally vast Amazon rainforest, which makes up about half of the rainforest of the entire planet. This tropical biome has as many as 100 different tree species on a single acre, including the rubber tree, silk cotton tree, and Brazil nut tree. Other important plant species include palms, ferns, and rope-like vines known as lianas that network throughout the rainforest dense canopy. The diversity of animal life in the Amazon rainforest is unmatched in the rest of the world. The rainforest is perfectly suited for tree-living animals. More than 2 million species of insects are native to the region, including hundreds of spiders and butterflies. Primates are abundant. Howler monkeys, spider monkeys, and capuchin monkeys, along with sloths, snakes, and iguanas. Thousands of native birds include brightly colored macaws, parrots, toucans, and parakeets. The Paraguay-Paraná River basin covers almost 2.8 million square kilometers, which is much of southeastern Brazil and Bolivia, Paraguay, and northern Argentina. The Paraná River also includes Iguaçu Falls, a massive series of waterfalls. Along with the Uruguay River, the Paraná River empties into the Rio de la Plata estuary between Argentina and Uruguay. The Rio de Plata is the most populated region of both the countries. The Paraguay-Paraná River basin supplies water to the plains biome or pampas of South America. The pampas have rich fertile soil and predictable rainfall patterns. They are the most important grazing and cropland areas on the continent. Coastal plains. South American coastal plains are found on the northeastern coast of Brazil, on the Atlantic Ocean, and the western Pacific coast of Peru and Chile. The coastal plains of northeastern Brazil are extremely dry. The Brazilian highlands act as a wedge that pushes moist sea winds away from the coastal plains. The western coastal plains are also extremely dry. They are trapped between the cold Peru current to the west and the Andes Mountains to the east. The Peru current brings cold water to the Pacific coast of Peru and Chile. This cold surface water results in thermal inversion, that is, cold air at sea level and warmer air higher up. Thermal inversion produces a thick layer of clouds at low altitudes. These low-lying clouds blanket much of the Pacific coast of South America. They do not allow precipitation to form. The climate in South America is predominantly wet and hot. However, the large size of the continent makes the climate of South America varied, with each region having its own characteristic weather conditions. The other factors influencing the climate of South America are the geographical location, ocean currents, and winds. South America climate differs from one region to another. The Amazon River basin has a typical hot, wet climate suitable for the growth of rainforests. The Andes Mountains, on the other hand, remain cold throughout the year. The temperatures of the mountains are always very low. The desert regions of Chile are the driest part of South America. The westerly winds carrying moisture shed their moisture on the western parts of the Andes. Thus, The eastern portion of the mountains receive very little rainfall. The cold Peru current is responsible for the dry coastal parts of Peru as well as northern Chile. The wettest place is Quibdó in Colombia. It receives an annual rainfall of 350 inches. The four parts of South America which experience heavy rainfall are the Amazon River Basin, coastal parts of French Guiana, Guyana and Suriname, the southwestern parts of Chile, Colombia and Ecuador coast. A unique feature of South America climate is the El Niño. Every 2 to 7 years, the cold dry Peru current weakens and warm waters from the south rush along the coast in a southward direction. The El Niño affects the climate of South America and causes heavy rainfall in the dry parts of South America. Central America is a narrow strip of land connecting two large landmasses of North and South America. It lies fully within the tropics, yet has at least a dozen climatic zones. Central America benefits from a tropical climate year-round with consistently high temperatures and storms that tend to be short and heavy. It has a tropical humid climate. It has no real winter. Even the coldest month averages above 18 degrees Celsius with summers of 27 to 28 degrees Celsius. The mountains and plains on the Caribbean side have heavy rain from September to February. Those on the Pacific side have little rainfall from December to April. Central and North Mexico have longer dry season, though there is also a wet season. The rain usually falls in the late afternoon for a short time. The wet season brings hot and humid climate which also determines the temperature. Central America is very much influenced by climate change. Climate change predictions show warmer climate and less rainfall, which is bad for agriculture and survival of many species. The coral reefs are also threatened by warming. The 1997-98 El Nino effect on Central America showed that future climate warming may result into forest fires, high sea surface temperatures leading to bleached corals in the nearby seas. Guatemala, a Central American country south of Mexico. It is distinguished by its steep volcanoes, vast rainforest and ancient Mayan sites. The capital Guatemala City is home to the stately National Palace of Culture. Institutions such as the National Museum of Archaeology and Ethnology and the lively Zona Viva nightlife area. Antigua, west of the capital, contains cobblestone streets and preserved Spanish colonial buildings. El Salvador. El Salvador is a tiny Central American nation known for its Pacific Ocean beaches, surfing and mountainous landscape. The journey through Ruta de las, flowering coffee farms, rainforest zip line sites and Ataco, home to vivid murals. The capital, San Salvador, with a dramatic backdrop of volcanoes, has vibrant nightlife and arts scenes. Honduras is a Central American country with Caribbean Sea coastlines to the north and the Pacific Ocean to the south. In the jungle near Guatemala, the ancient Mayan ceremonial site Copan has stone-carved hieroglyphics and stelae, tall stone monuments. Offshore lay the Bay Islands, part of a massive barrier reef, which are popular for scuba diving. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is an Incan citadel set high in the Andes Mountains in Peru, above the Urubamba River Valley. Built in the 15th century and later abandoned, it's renowned for its sophisticated dry stone walls that fuse huge blocks without the use of mortar, intriguing buildings that play on the astronomical alignments and panoramic views. Its exact former use remains a mystery. Angel Falls. Angel Falls, meaning the fall from the highest point, is a waterfall in Venezuela. It is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall. The waterfall drops in the Canaima National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the Gran Sabana region of Bolivar State. Iguazu Falls are waterfalls of the Iguazu River on the border of the Argentine province of Misiones and the Brazilian state of Paraná. The falls divide the river into the upper and lower Iguazu. The Iguazu River rises near the city of Curitapa. For most of its course, the river flows through Brazil. However, most of the falls are on the Argentine side. Below its confluence with San Antonio River, the Iguazu River forms the boundary between Argentina and Brazil. We shall conclude by saying Central America is tropical. There are rainforests with many kinds of plants and animals. American Indians such as the Mayan have lived there for thousands of years. Then European countries such as Spain and England took land for colonies. Today, there are people of Spanish, American Indian and mixed background. South America is generally delimited on the northwest by the Darien watershed along the Colombia-Panama border, although some may consider the border instead to be the Panama Canal. By this, we have come to the end of this session. I hope you all have understood briefly on the physical features of South and Central America. Thank you.